Namaskar from Rourkela. It is match 8 of the Hero Hockey India League 2024-2025 coming your way shortly. It will see the Tamil Nadu Dragons taking on the Kalinga Lancers, the home team for Odisha. Currently sitting bottom of the ladder, desperate for a win. The only team without a point so far are the Kalinga Lancers. The Tamil Nadu Dragons, well, they're only 1 point ahead of them. So must-win game for both these teams as Amit Rahidas's Tamil Nadu Dragons take on Aaron Zaluski's Vedanta Kalinga Lancers. But it is wonderful to see so many happy people here taking in the hockey. The umpires make their way out, Kunvan Bunga and Anand Dangi. And the video umpire for tonight will be Surab Rajpal. As now the players make their way out, Aaron Zaluski missed the first game, but will be taking part tonight for the Lancers. Lancers in the blue, the Tamil Nadu Dragons in the yellow, although they may say it's gold, as they are, of course, the defending champions, having last won the Hero Hockey India League. But for the Tamil Nadu Dragons, David Hart starts in goal again. Chandan, as we heard from the coach Ryan Van Eyck, wanting to press for a place in the Australian junior team. Anand Lakra in the middle. Amit Rahidis will be so important, but it's their forward line that looks really lively. Uttam, Govers and Dilapan getting a debut performance.
The Kalinga Lancers, Pathak starts in the goal. Arthur Van Doren, Alinza and Hendricks and Pratap Lakra bring up the back. Antoine Kina and Ravi Chandra hold the center. Enrique Gonzalez, Gursaravit Singh and Thierry Brinquin in the front line. Look out coming from the bench, Aaron Zuluski, Bir Anand, Angad Singh and Bobby Singh.
Ten,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
let's play.
The whistle goes and we are underway. Comes wide to Tom Craig, an early touch for him. And then goes back, Anand Lakra. I was surprised when we saw that lineup. It is in fact Yip Janssen and Amit Rohidis in the middle, with Lakra pushing up the side on one side and Yadav on the other. Great run into the circle by Sorsby. Sorsby to the baseline, and a penalty corner's been given. Well, that was a brilliant run.
Like a hot knife through butter, Ashley. Just ran through the central defense of the Kalinga Lancers to earn Steve the first penalty corner. Pretty much unchallenged.
Well, it's appropriate you say that, because Tom Sorsby comes from Sheffield, known for its steel and making cutlery. So he certainly is a hot knife through butter. So Yip Janssen is at the first battery. Blake Govers at the second. Janssen with the second attempt, wide of the mark this time. So yeah, no, that makes sense now you say that the penalty corner has to be completed.
And that flick really had some pace on it. Probably just missing out on the angle. Not sure if Pathak had that covered though.
Ryan Van Eyck will be a little bit disappointed his team haven't been more clinical from the penalty corners. That was one of the things he was saying he wanted to see from his team today. Felt they played well in the opening game, but just weren't clinical enough. Gonzalez, good sharp save from David Hart.
Just thought he should have closed him down faster on top of the circle. Take a look at that tomahawk. Well positioned, the goalkeeper on that occasion, straight into his chest.
Dilpreet. In the end, happy to play it back into the defensive line. Van Doren. Oh, into the circle. It's going to be a long corner.
Yeah, lovely defense. I thought, Ashley, that's one of the most difficult balls to defend in the D on the deflected ball.
The Tamil Nadu Dragons have struggled to hold possession for any period of time. They sort of get in 2/3 of the pitch and then lose out, but they've got a free hit now in the final third. So what can they mount from here? Apart from Salisbury's run, there's not been much. They're in the circle now, and it's going to be a long corner their end of the field of play. Taken quickly by Zwicker. We'll come back to Zwicker just outside the 5-metre line. He fires that one in, but unfortunately lifted it too high, creating danger. So ball goes back to Kalinga Lancers.
Yeah, the idea was good to pepper it into the tee, but unfortunately a lifted ball.
Bandarak going one way then the other, and takes it back down into the corner. He takes two defenders with him. He's lost the ball now. Now he has to do the defending. Through the legs it goes, over the side, and it's done a good job because it's their ball. Plays the ball back. Diagonal pass goes all the way from Anand Lakra out onto the left-hand side. It's going to come back to him. No, it's not. Amit Rahidis goes back down the left-hand side to the baseline. Did it go over the line? It did indeed. Uttam was trying to turn quickly with the ball, but it just bobbled up off his stick.
Yeah, I just thought there was great skill by Uttam, trying to keep the ball in play while in the air.
There's Aaron Zalewski with a green card, 2 minutes on the side. Mandeep Moore, well, that was a tricky ball. He did very well under pressure from Uttam, and he's upended there by Sorsby. And Sorsby has, well, it should be, I thought it was Sorsby, it's Uttam actually who's got the card. Thrown to the air, and the whistle goes, not for 5 metres, and the hooter follows the whistle, and that is the end of the first quarter. I'd have to say that in boxing parlance, that round just probably won on points by the Lancers, but no goals as yet. As we look at the stats, 2 circle penetrations for the Dragons, 9 though for the Lancers, so that confirms what I was saying. No goals as yet though. As we head into the first break, it is Tamil Nadu Dragons 0, Vedanta Kalinga Lancers 0. The second quarter, 0-0 here in match 8, the final match in the second round of matches. And incredibly, we've only had 4 wins so far. And both of those, or sorry, all 4 going to just 2 teams who've won both their opening games.
It might look like they are way superior actually, but that is not to be. Still early days in the tournament.
It is, but it's a good way to start, isn't it? A win always helps.
Absolutely. And just by looking at those stats that were shown during the halftime, 9 circle penetrations to the Lancers, but you need to convert the circle penetrations to tries on goal. Else it's of no use just penetrating the circle and not making something of it.
Having to scurry across and make sure they kept possession there. That was good work again being done by Dilpreet. Comes wide now. There's a little bit of space here for Ravichandra. But he's just turned that one over. Again, a heavy touch though from Tom Craig. Says it go back with the Lancers. Keena will get a free hit, top of the circle. Van Bunga very clear that he wants the defenders 5 metres. Goes to Keena again. Keena slides the ball in. What did that touch? It's going to be, I think, a long corner. Into the circle, picked up well. Shot on the turn, Hart saves. Good save to deny Angad Bir Singh.
Great pickup by Bir Singh on the reverse.
And now the Dragons trying to run out. Great steal again, Dilpreet. What a game he's having. Angad Bir Singh again making his run forward. Product of the SD College in Chandigarh. Here's the save from David Hart. Well, they're creating the opportunities. They've got to get the goals.
Yeah, that's what's going to win them the match. Ali, you need to get the goals.
I do remember the Hockey World League. He had a collision action, had to be carried off the field of play. He was unconscious, and it was a very scary moment. I was commentating that game. Keena again. Oh, a lovely touch by Zalewski. Hart, though, off his line. And there's going to be a stick check when Zalewski went into the circle from one of the Dragons players. So penalty corner.
But how good a leave was that at the top of the circle, Ashley? Getting the ball to Zalewski. The stick check there. Penalty corner for the Lancers.
Goes to Hendricks again. He flicks, Hart saves and appeals for a penalty corner again. So third penalty corner for the Lancers. Still no goals. 5 penalty corners in the match so far.
There's the injection and a great flick. But then a penalty corner yet again.
So they take up the same positions. They go to Hendricks again. Goes into the first runner once more, but it's going to be a long corner as it came off the stick and went over the baseline. Coaching staff watching on with Thierry Brinkman. Good work again, top of the circle, falls to Zalewski, and it's smashed into the shins of, I think it was Yip Janssen.
Yeah, little deflection on top of the circle. Came up pleasantly for Zalewski. Good try and goal, yet another penalty corner. Are they going to make it count now?
Well, David Hart is determined that they're not.
There's the deflection, a perfect position for Zalewski.
Going a little bit straighter. Hendricks shifts to the left. It is Hendricks again. Oh, it's gone this time. Alexander Hendricks scores for the Kalinga Lancers, and they take the lead.
Blistering barnacles is what the man at the pole will be saying on that drag flick. Where did that come from?
Oh, just that slight shift at the top of the circle just seemed to change the angle and make all the difference.
And to beat David Hart in the goal with the drag flick, it has to be special. So we see it again. Perfect injection. Gave the flicker enough time, and between the goalkeeper and the pole man, that had some pace on it.
That was really good placement, wasn't it? Just between the postman, Zwicker. Got 30 odd seconds left, leaping to try and keep that in play. But unfortunately for the Dragons, it's gone out of play. Keena, nice ball infield to Dilpreet. Dilpreet, wow, what a game he's having. Keena and him are really showcasing their skills. And Gadbir Singh into the circle he goes, looks to lay it back to Gonzalez. The hoot has gone as the shot came in from Gursabajit, who immediately apologises.
It's a half time, the score is.
But again, it was a really good attack. And not surprisingly, the Kalinga Lancers are smiling as they make their way off for the half-time break. David Hart has been kept extremely busy. We look at the stats, 19 circle penetrations, 6 shots, of which 5 of those have been saved by Hart. Just the 1 shot for the Tamil Nadu Dragons. And so it means we're heading into the half-time break. It is Tamil Nadu Dragons 0, Vedanta Kalinga Lancers 1. Well, welcome back for the second half of match 8 of the Hero Hockey India League. The home side Kalinga Lancers leading by 1-0 at the moment. The fans very happy about that. As you can see, there is the evidence. Although if they do what the coach wants them to do, he said they've not done anything that they were told to do. We'll have to wait and see. It could be a very different second half. Head out wide now onto the right-hand side. For the Dragons, drilled to the edge of the circle, picked up well. Oh, what a response! Start of the second half. Tom Craig pounced on a loose ball and fires it past Krishna Patak.
Yeah, just a loose ball in the D, top of the circle. And Tom Craig, generally known to making hard runs into the D, but a great finish to get them on level terms. A brilliant tomahawk, and Patak couldn't really read that.
Well, just 45 seconds into the second half.
We've seen it in the previous game too. He has this tendency of just bulldozing his way into the D.
Another free hit. Striding forward is Janssen. Throws it high. That will be brought down by the Lancers. Van Doren will feed it out wide. Dilpreet now, an angled pass from him finds Brinkman. Brinkman put under immense pressure, and he's done well to keep possession. He now peels away to go inside the circle. Oh dear, not thrown in the air, but Dilpreet cleans up. Was he fouled by Sorsby? Yes, says the umpire. Short pass is taken quickly. Good block as trying to play that ball in was Mandeep Moore. In it goes, and Hart clears, but it's good work by Sanjay again. He's in the circle through the legs. It's really crowded with Dragons players. Shot is blocked again in front of the keeper. Still alive as Mandeep Moore carries it. Up it goes off the stick. Penalty corner.
Consistent pressure there from the Lancers and being rewarded with a penalty corner.
Penalty corner for Vedanta,
Not sure what the Dragons
Kalinga.
were appealing with the umpire. It did seem to have ricocheted off the defender stick up into the dangerous play.
Well,
That is a penalty corner.
I think Janssen was saying it's coming to me and I wasn't in any danger. Can the Lancers get another goal? Shift to the left again. Hendricks flicks into the first runner. Gets the rebound. Goal scored by Alexander Hendricks. He gets the second. Amit Rohidis did a great run, blocked it, but couldn't see where the ball had gone. It's a brilliant finish.
You're not sure what the referral was for. Let's wait and see.
Yeah. Okay, this is incoming. Anand,
Yes.
there is no clear reason to change your decision. Goal stands and Tamil Nadu lose the referral.
Okay. Lose the referral.
And listen to that crowd. Comes wide again now. Chandan Yadav played it into the circle. Good defence once more from the Lancers. Helped forward, that was a really good pass to pick out Brinkman. It was Antoine Keener. Brinkman fed in. Oh, sliding into the back was Gonzalez, but that was superb defence coming back. And it was Thomas Sorsby.
But how good a run was that by Gonzalez without the ball, pretty much from his own 23-meter line, made the pace and almost scored at the other end.
And as the Dragons again coming forward, as that we just see that ball cleared. Tom Craig made a good burst through the midfield. He's fairly quiet in the first half. He's been very busy in this third quarter. It's a free hit to the Dragons. Can they get an equaliser? No, they won't get time. Huta goes for the end of the third quarter. And after being pegged back, the Lancers have shown real true grit and have managed to come back again and steal the lead. And they will take that lead into the final break. And now look, you can see how much the Tamil Nadu Dragons improved. 10 circle entries, 3 shots, and now just the 1 goal. 24 circle entries though still for the Kalinga Lancers. And as we go into the final break, it's the Dragons 1, the Kalinga Lancers 2. The final quarter underway. Peg back once. The Dragons have really come back in this match in the third quarter, and you feel that this next 15 minutes is going to be helter-skelter.
Yeah, don't go anywhere to the viewers who've tuned in. This is going to be one hell of a 15 minutes.
Now you haven't got time to make a cup of tea now. Here come the Dragons straight away on the attack. The ball laid back, good touch. And the Lancers lose their referral. Govers and Janssen already in position, waiting at the top of the circle. There's still some conjecture from the Lancers players. The whistle goes, they go to Janssen again, and he gets a goal back. They're back on level terms. Yip Janssen opens his account. So Dragons 2, Lancers 2. Ludwig tries to fire it down the line. It's stolen away by Dilpreet. In fact, it's Dilpreet doing well, kept possession. He's managed to feed it to Keenar. Keenar deflected it into the body. The defender deflected it into the body of the player, and it sent a free hit outside the circle. Well,
yeah, it was lifted from outside the circle, Ashley. There's no reason why he can give that as a penalty corner.
so it came up off the player outside, and Gasabajit coming in. He's won a penalty corner this time.
That's a penalty corner.
Now that is a penalty corner. This could be the crucial variation that we're going to see.
Well, it could be. Hendricks lines up again at the first pressure. This time they shift to the right. Hendricks straight down the middle. Good save again. Prince Deep doing well, and it's gone straight into their own player. So now there's 15 seconds for the Dragons to throw it long. Need to bring that down. It was watched brilliantly, and it'll be taken over into the corner. We are headed for a shootout. There goes the siren. So a last-minute chance for Kalinga to win the match, but they couldn't take it from the penalty corner because Prince Deep Singh made a sharp save to give his team the chance in the shootout. The players shaking hands. Credit to the Dragons for their comeback. Final score, Tamil Nadu Dragons 2, Vedanta Kalinga Lancers 2. We're headed for a shootout. So Arthur Van Doren will be the first to go for the Lancers, and he will face David Hart. Van Doren crouched over the ball. The hooter goes, he advances, so too does Hart, past the penalty spot. Collision between the two, Hart saves and sweeps the ball away. So the Dragons have first blood. Toby Reynolds-Cottrell. Now it's Ludwig, Moritz Ludwig. The big man comes forward. Toby Reynolds-Cottrell staying on his feet. Ludwig has to go and he gets it. Whoa, that was pretty close.
I just thought he was running out of time there, Ashley. But Ludwig doing well.
Anyway, Angad Bir Singh to try and pull the goal back in the shootout for the Lancers. David Hart again comes a long way. Angad Bir Singh, oh my word, a double 360 from him. That is confidence. So one apiece with now the Dragons to go. Coming forward, Mandeep Moore. Well, there you go. Now it is the Lancers, Thierry Brinkman. Brinkman advances on Hart. Hart reaches and Brinkman spins and gets it. So the Lancers now have the advantage. Now the Australian Nathan Ephraim's steps forward to take on Toby Reynolds-Cottrell. Ephraim's goes off to the right, then runs across the P spot to the left. Cottrell goes to ground. Ephraim puts it in the roof of the net. We're still tied up at 2 apiece. So now Antoine Keener, who I thought had a top game today, and he'll want to make sure he scores just to round out a wonderful performance. He advances on David Hart, doesn't turn his back. Oh, and just pushes it underneath the big man. Antoine Keener makes it 3-2. It will now be Uttam to take on Reynolds-Cottrell. Hooter goes, Uttam pushes it a long way ahead, gets there, goes off to the left-hand side, straightens up, tries to go underneath and then lifts it over the top. 3-all. So Dilpreet will go now for the Lancers. If they both score here, we're going into sudden death. Dilpreet, David Hart ahead of him, looks to go with his stick. Dilpreet stays calm, runs round and just pokes it in. Well, that was cheeky from Dilpreet, and what a game he's had tonight. A player high on confidence. So the last chance now. Dragons must score. Setting off, goes down to the left-hand side. It's Blake Govers. Oh, yes. Govers gets them equal, and so we're going into sudden death. And of course we reverse the teams now. It will be the Dragons to go first. Same 5 players, and they can change the order if they wish. And it is Ephraim's that goes first this time around. A little push from the keeper, but Ephraim says, don't worry me, I'm still going to put it in the roof of the net. Now beat Thierry Brinkman up next for the Lancers to keep them in the shootout. Brinkman goes straight down the middle. David Hart is there. Good stick work. Oh my word, that was special. Going second this time around in the sudden death. Can Toby Reynolds-Cottrell keep him at bay? Ludwig reversing. No, he can't. So Ludwig gives the Dragons the lead again. So now it is the man high on confidence, Dilpreet, up against David Hart. 6-5 to the Dragons. Dilpreet, of course, must score to keep them in the shootout for the bonus point. Hart comes, Dilpreet. It's saved by Hart, and it's saved by Hart again. And the Dragons get the bonus point. Well, there was contact from Hart on Dilpreet. Did it affect the way things went? Hart is getting patted on the helmet. I'm sure it's pretty loud inside there. The Dragons' flags are flying high. They have got the bonus point. Well, there we go. The shootout 6-5 in favour of the Dragons after a 2-all draw. So the Dragons get the bonus point.